You know, most movies these days are really made for the age group 14 to 24. So that's why it was a thrill for me a couple of years ago when I saw a great, huge line of older people line up to see On Golden Pond. Yeah. I would like to recommend that all our farmers, and I know there are many, many thousands out there, see a film, and it's not made for kids. And believe me, it was made by Walt Disney, and one seems to think of a family production for Walt Disney. But under the Walt Disney umbrella comes Touchstone Films, and they're doing some innovative, exciting films. Splash was the first one, and now Country. And this is the writer of Country. His name is William Wittliff, and you have a beautiful production. Why are you involved with the farmer? Why do you care about the farmer, Bill?
Actually, my concern starts with your state. About 5 years ago, my son and I took a trip and traveled with a family of gypsy wheat cutters through Nebraska, in Wyoming a little bit, and so on. So I became aware then of the plight of farmers and what they were going through. Then one morning, Jessica saw a photograph in a newspaper. This is a couple of years ago now. Saw a photograph in a newspaper of an Iowa farm family that was being foreclosed out. And she became concerned. And it sort of dovetailed.
Well, how did you and she get together to produce this?
Jessica got in touch with me. I think she had read Raggedy Man, in which Sam was in. And she called, and we started talking. Then we made a trip to the Midwest, and we started talking to farmers. And
so you created it out of listening to people talk?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we drove down a lot of country roads, opened a lot of gates, knocked on a lot of doors, sat around a lot of kitchen tables and drank coffee.
Well, you caught the flavor of the dialogue of the farmers. You got a good ear?
I hope it did.
You have a good ear?
I think I have a pretty good ear on occasion, yeah. Particularly for that kind of people. I mean, I'm from Texas. Most of my people are, off the farm, or on the farm still, many of them. Walked around in the dirt a bit. And also, most of what those people say is not so much in the land, but it's in those spaces between the lines. So people talk with silences more than any people I know. So.
It's interesting that you made the wife, who is played by Jessica Lange in the film, the stronger of the two. Is the female, I know your mom and dad were divorced. Mm-hmm. Was your mother the stronger? Did that have a tendency to say, hey, the wife had to pull it through?
Well, it was certainly true in my mother's case, but it is also what we found in talking to these farmers. I mean, the women are very, very strong. The men, when the FHA or the PCA or any of the lending institutions, whacked them with, you should leave farming. I mean, the men simply did not know how to react, and it just doubled them up. And one can certainly understand that. The women we found just reached down and pulled everything together that they could to help their men and help their families get through this. Because the real dilemma of something like this, I mean, and the real cost is in terms of the human, what it does to a marriage, what it does to a family, when something like foreclosure hits them. Because it's grabbing somebody who's been rooted in a place and who's been rooted in a way of life, sometime for generations. And in one moment, really, it's like a hand reaches down and just jerks them up by the roots and says, you can't be here anymore. You can't be what you are.
We're not going to sell the land. This land's been in my family for over 100 years.
We owe them the money. It's their money. They want it back, $96,000 bucks. Do you think they care what we got to do to get it?
Well, we'll talk to them.
Damn it, Joe, we just did talk to them. That's their answer right there. Can you read? What are we going to say to them anyway? Things are going to get better next year? That's what we've been saying every year. It never does.
Well, we just got to slow down a minute and figure this out.
No, I got to go somewhere and think.
Joe?
The women we found been powerfully
I'm glad to hear that.
strong in trying to.
Did you have any problem with the ending of the film, the resolution, how to resolve this situation?
You mean in terms of whether that family loses their farm or
Yes, in
doesn't?
terms, you're writing it. How do we resolve this
Well,
without making it too pat?
yeah, because it's not, you know, it's not fair to say they are going to lose their farms, because some of them won't. It's not fair to say everybody's going to save their farms, because they won't either. So what you try to say is that regardless of what happens, you can get through with it and you can come out with something if you've got each other. So, you know, that may not be a resolution in terms of whether or not they actually save that farm. But if they can be together, even if they do get uprooted, then they've got something to take with them wherever they go. So that's what we're trying to say.
You wrote Country, you co-produced it, and you started out as the director. Now, how on earth can you do all three, Bill?
Well, it didn't work.
Oh, you can't. Oh, that's how that
Two
works.
of them worked.
What happened?
It didn't work for Jesse. It didn't work for me. I wasn't going to work for the film, so I'm pulled out of that portion of it.
Do you feel, well, how do you feel about that?
Well, I think it was a smart decision. Richard Pierce came in, I think did a marvelous job. The film's a result of that. So I'm delighted.
Why did you choose Waterloo, Iowa as a location to shoot Country?
Bill Lindstrom with the Iowa Film Commission did a lot of work for us in trying to find locations, and as it turned out, that was the one that suited our purposes best. So really, we went to the farm that really was right out of the script. I mean, it's, having never seen that place, it was almost described exactly like that in the script, and sure enough, then there it was.
Did you see Terms of Endearment, Bill?
I have not seen that.
Well, you know, it was nominated for 11 Academy Awards and finally turned out quite well. Well, that's the first film we've ever shot in Lincoln, Nebraska. Our first attempt. We didn't do too badly.
You didn't do too bad.
The reason I mentioned that is the next time you write a film, I want you to come to Lincoln, Nebraska to shoot it. You don't have to go to Waterloo, Iowa. You don't have to listen to the Texas Film Commission. You come to Nebraska and shoot your next film. Will you do that?
Okay, and I'll call you first.
Okay, representing the Lincoln Film Commission.
Okay.
It's a beautiful film, Bill. You should be very, I know you're proud.
I am proud, yeah.
You are. You
Delighted.
should deserve every reason to be proud. The film is Country, and this is the writer and the producer, Bill Wittliff. Thank you so much.
Thank
It was
you,
a real
Lady.
pleasure. Stay tuned. There's more to come as 10/11 Morning continues.